I have communicated these things to you, so you will not be embarrassed about your scandalous association with me. You will be kicked out of their synagogues, and there will be times where those who kill you will think that they have done God a favor. They will do these things because they know neither the Father nor me. I have told you all this in advance, so that when it happens, you will remember this conversation. While I was with you, there was no need for me to tell you about these things. But now I am going away to be face to face with him who sent me. And here you are, not even asking me to explain to you what I am about to do, since you are so worried about your own future. Now listen up. Hear me. My departure is not to disadvantage you. Everything that is about to happen brings conclusion and bears together what the prophets pointed to. This will be to your absolute advantage. If I do not go away, your companion cannot come to you. But if I go, I will send to you one to be face to face with you, defining your very being. In this capacity of close companionship with you, Holy Spirit comes to convince the world concerning sin, righteousness, and judgment. Holy Spirit in you will persuade them concerning their sin, which boils down to a bankrupt, distorted identity due to their indifference to me. In this union with you, the great companion will also convince the world of righteousness, because in my disappearing out of sight to be face to face with the Father, the Spirit of truth will interpret the conclusion of my mission, which is mankind's association in me and their redeemed innocence. The intimate union with my Father that I displayed while present with you in my physical body will now be made visible in you. Then the world will be convinced that the judgment that was their due was accomplished when the ruler of the system was judged. I have so much more to tell you, but you would not be able to handle now. But when she comes, the Spirit of truth, she will take you by the hand and guide you into the path of all truth. She will not draw attention to herself, but will communicate and unveil everything she hears and discerns from a heavenly perspective about the things that are about to happen within you. Holy Spirit will endorse my opinion of you by taking that which is mine and interpreting it in you. The Father and I enjoy all things in common, even to the finest detail. Because this is so, I said that the close companion esteems my glory and lays a hold of that which is within me and declares it within you from heaven's point of view. For a brief while, I will be absent from your view. Then, in another brief while, you will see and know me. Some of his disciples said to each other, "What does he mean? He tells us that in a little while we won't see him. Then he tells us that in a little while we will see him again. And then he would return to face with the Father. What does he mean by a little while? This just doesn't make sense to us at all." Jesus perceived that they were confused about this and asked them, "Are you still trying to figure out what I mean by this brief time where you will no longer see me, and then the next moment you will really see me? During this brief time of my apparent absence, you will mourn and grieve, but while the religious world rejoices, your pain will give birth to joy. The anguish a woman suffers when her hour has come to give birth is soon forgotten and replaced with delight when another human life is born. Just like with childbirth, where joy eclipses the labor pains, So your present sorrow will be vanquished and your hearts will erupt in joy when you realize how you captivate my gaze. And no one will be able to take this joy away from you. In that day of your awakening to our inseparable union, you shall ask me no more questions. Instead, you would certainly ask the Father directly in my name, knowing that my name represents the extent of all the Father has already accomplished on mankind's behalf, and that he will happily grant you your requests and take all questions of possible doubt or uncertainty out of the equation. Until now, you have not required anything in my name. When you realize what is yours in my name, then make your requests and lay a hold of that so that your joy may burst its banks. I have used examples to illustrate these things in figurative speech, but the hour comes when the illustrations will be replaced with unreserved utterance, and I will declare to you openly heavenly things about the Father. In that day, you will make your requests in my name without a middleman. There will be no need for me to question the Father on your behalf. The Father himself is so fond of you and is pleased with your affection for me and your belief that I proceeded from his immediate presence. I have indeed proceeded from the immediate presence and intimate presence of the Father to come to the world and return again to be face to face with the Father. The disciples said to him, "You are coming through loud and clear without the aid of a parable. Now we see what you have seen all along. To be persuaded that you indeed proceeded from the Father brings an end to all our speculations and uncertainties." To this Jesus responded with, "Just when you think you now finally believe that I am who I claim to be, then suddenly you will all scramble and run for your lives and abandon me. But I am never forsaken, because my Father is always with me. I have spoken these things to you, that in me you will know the sweet and assured resonance of my peace. In the world, you encounter extreme and stressful times, but be of good cheer. I have conquered the world order."